See you, man. But the one from Fargo, if there's anything, if I want to welcome, Gibson Jerry here. I'm glad you are there, and we are about to go into our broadcast. I have some GONGLOE supporters. Thank you very much, Abraham Copper, in the studio of Flash FM there in Zouadrou, Grand County. And I was listening to the people calls, and I don't know how some people just sit down and lie about something that they don't know about. I'm going to address that in a little bit. There's a lady that keep asking for what I will pay GONGLOE. This is her second time calling and saying that because he's a lawyer, therefore he was paid. I'm going to also address that, and I'm going to address other issues. Today is all about GONGLOE. I want to say thanks to George Wisner and others who were in studio there to talk about Councilor TIAWAN GONGLOE, and I really do appreciate it. If you are still in studio, I want to tell you that I was watching you. I wanted to call in to correct somebody, but I couldn't do that. And since I was going to do my own show, I'm going to do an hour. Therefore, I decided not to call in. But in any case, here is something I want to say to all Grangians. You don't need to lie if you don't want to support TIAWAN GONGLOE. Nobody needs to lie. I just don't like when people say something they don't know anything about. Okay, when this whole our boys being in jail, I was the person that started in America. And let me just say, I'll give you a little background for some of you who do not know at all. Okay, some of you do not know. I'll give you background. So you don't go anywhere and tell people that GONGLOE received money or GONGLOE did not fight for these boys. And you talk about Chesia Grant. We made Chesia Grant to go there at the Temple of Justice. Chesia Grant did not give any 5 cents. No Grand Jury lawmaker gave any 5 cents. So I just wanted to say that, but I'll come there. But let me just tell you how the whole thing started. When I heard that Grangians were being rounded up by the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration and were being put in jail, I tried to engage the Grand Jury Association at the time, but the Grand Jury Association was not listening to me because I don't know, for any reason they were not listening to me at all. So there were other like Grangians who also wanted to do the same jail. So I started to make contact with Grangians in America. And then I formed what we call the Concerned Grangians Association in America. Concerned Grangians. So the Concerned Grangians, I was the chairman, and I was responsible to see to it that these guys had lawyers, because there's nothing that we could have done. There was nothing else we could have done. They were already in jail. Some of them have stayed in jail for 1 year. Some of them have stayed in jail for 6 months. We didn't even know that Ellen was arresting these people every day. Almost every time they were putting them in jail. Okay? The only reason why we knew was when they started arresting people in Monrovia, like Ofori there. They went to his house. In fact, they lied to Ofori there, because according to a story, Ofori there was a petrol bomb that was exploded at Ofori home, and Ofori went to the police station to tell the police, and the police said, oh, okay. They went there, they look at it, say, okay, it looked like a pipe bomb or a petrol bomb, but tomorrow you must come so we can talk to you and hear more about it. Ofori went to the station, and the next day they arrested him and put him in jail and said he was part of those who went to fight and kill in Ivory Coast. And that thing pissed me off like crazy. I was so mad. Those were some of the reasons why we even came into the picture. So when I started the Concerned Grangian Association, I wrote the Secretary of State of the United States. I wrote the UN Human Rights Commission. I wrote the UN Secretary General. I wrote the Nobel Peace Prize and asked them to revoke Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Nobel Prize. They wrote me back and said, we are very sorry, but we have not done that before, to give someone a prize and took it back. But we note your concern. We are praying with you that your people are released from jail. So when I wrote the United Nations Human Rights Commission, they wrote me back and said, okay, we want to get involved into your complaint, but you have to have a document signed by these people that you are speaking on their behalf. At that time, I was in America. I couldn't go to Liberia. I tried by all means, contacted various people for them to go to the prison compound and take the signature of these guys so they can send it to me and say, hey, Gibson is representing us. That way the United Nations Security Council, not Security Council, Human Rights Commission will launch an investigation in a random arrest of Grangians. Everything I tried failed. I couldn't get a letter that will appoint me as their representative in America to be able to fight for them on the side. I couldn't get it. So we tried by all means, no way. The State Department did not respond to me, but the press secretary of the Secretary of State, they called it. I still got his number today in my phone. I hear him, I said, talk 2 times, and he told me, Gibson, this is a country-to-country diplomacy that the State Department involved with. So your complaint went to the Secretary of State, but the Secretary of State will not be able to take it up as an individual complaint. It has to be a state-to-state situation. So in the future, I want you to pass through some of your representative or something before we can be able to take it up. So I said, okay. So I tried to get to Chester Grant. Well, I couldn't get to Chester Grant because he was the only person who was interested at the time. Zopen was not interested because Zopen was accused at the time that he was one of those who even leaked to the alien government that these boys were involved in the killing of the UN peacekeepers in Ivory Coast. So I didn't want to talk to Zopen because I heard that. I tried to call him, I couldn't get him. I got his number. I called Charlie Douglas. Charlie Douglas gave me a new number. I called him, I couldn't get him. So I said, okay, I'm not going to talk to him. So Chester Graham, I said, we talked. And Chester Graham, we asked if you can go in there at least to make a representation. So GONGLOE told us and said, look, Gibson, no, before I get to GONGLOE. So I couldn't get anybody, nobody for us to do. So I started to call lawyers in Liberia because I was the only person who was talking about it. Before I called the lawyers in Liberia, the Ghanaian Association in America, GGAA, they had a meeting to expel me from the organization. Why they want to expel me? They said I was speaking on behalf of Ghanaians in America and I had no right to do so. So they wanted to expel me from the organization. Now, there were a few people who resisted that. And those people, I appreciate them. So they called me to the board meeting. If I was going to say something maybe wrong that day, maybe they were going to expel me that day. That was the day they was going to expel me from the Ghanaian Association in America. So when they called me into the meeting, I told them, look, I have no interest in being Ghanaian Association president. I have contacted the Ghanaian Association, the president, the vice president, everybody, and nobody wanted to listen to me. And we can't sit down while our boys are in jail. So since they didn't want to do anything, I had to do something. That's why I formed the Concerned Ghanaian Association. It's not an association in America. So if there's something that I did that was wrong, I'm so sorry, but I didn't do it because I wanted to overtake Ghanaian Association, and I want to just fight for our boys. So in the meeting now, those people who were there, they got misinformation. So they said, but I thought you said Gibson Jeru was trying to overthrow the Ghanaian Association. But what the man said is not the same thing you told us in the meeting, in the board meeting. So the board members got divided. Then at the end of the day, they said, okay, we can't take the decision tonight. So we will inform Gibson about whatever decision the board took. 3 or 4 days later, they wrote me and said, Gibson, based on... I'm sorry, guys. So based on the conversation we had, they wrote me and said, hello, Gibson, we don't see any reason why you should be expelled from the Ghanaian Association. So the case is dissolved. So they dissolved the case. Now that they dissolved the case, so now I have the responsibility to get a lawyer. So the first thing I did, I contacted Sereno Cephas. I started raising money to be able to get Sereno Cephas. Sereno Cephas charged me $350. So I started asking people to help me to be able to get a lawyer. Because after they filed the habeas corpus, definitely the government will arrest them again, and then we still need a lawyer. So the Ghanaian Association in Colorado, the Ghanaian Association in Colorado sent me $50. The Ghanaian Association in Kentucky sent me $50, and that was the only money I got. So the balance money, I added the balance money to the money, the $350, and make it up to $350, and send it to Sereno Cephas. So Sereno Cephas went and wrote a petition for the writ of habeas corpus. He went to the court to free these boys from jail because they had not been charged. While he was at the court, the police ran to the magistrate court and got a writ and charged them and put them back into jail. Therefore, we couldn't get them out of jail. So Sereno Cephas was at the court. He called me and said, Gibson, I don't think we can get them out. I said, why? I said, as I was in the criminal code A, I was in the criminal code A trying to get a writ to be served. The police just brought them and took them to the magistrate court, charged all of them, and sent them to central prison. So the habeas corpus will not be able to work. So we need to have another approach. We have to wait for the full trial. So I was discouraged. I was very, very discouraged. At that time, the Ghanaian Association was not involved. They didn't want to have anything to do with it. I have few people that James, all the people, Augustine Zulu, there were some few people who were with me. Jerome, all of them, those guys. I can't name everybody here, but they were with me. We'll call meeting. They come there, and there was. I don't want to call certain people here who really destroyed the process, who made it possible that Grand Youth Association did not want to be. Because when I start calling their name now, some of you will say, "Oh, I'm trying to spoil their name." But those people made sure they even lied. They even lied to us in our meeting that Ellen Johnson was supposed to release the poor in this that week on a Friday. He said, "Oh, Jameson, you need to find a lawyer." Ellen told us that they were going to release them. So we almost believe it. Now that Friday came, they couldn't release them. So we had a meeting. I called the meeting. In the meeting, they said, "Gibson, you got to just find a lawyer." I said, "Okay, guys, give me 1 week. I will try to find a lawyer." So I started contacting all the lawyers. I knew a lot of lawyers in Liberia, to be honest with you. At that time, Sereno Seaford was about to go to ECOWAS, to the ECOWAS court, so he was not going to be there. I told him, I said, "Sereno, can you help us?" Sereno said, "Gibson, I could have helped you, but I'm on my way to Nigeria, and I'm going to be to the ECOWAS court for maybe 6 months or 7 months. I can't be here to do it." I said, "Okay, can you recommend someone?" He recommended, I think, 4 people. I contacted them and said, "Oh, who are you talking about?" I said, those Granadians who were arrested. Said, "Oh, the one that I went to Ivory Coast." Now, the question they asked me, "Oh, the guy that they said they went to Ivory Coast to fight." I said, "Yes." "Okay, I will let you know if I can do it." They will call me back. "Oh, we are sorry because of so and so, we can't do it." I contacted up to 16 lawyers that I know. 16 lawyers that I know. Talk to them, beg them. They all refuse. Even those who say they were human rights lawyers, they all refuse. The last person I had to call, I tried calling him, but his number that I had was wrong. So his brother in America, I called his brother. I said, "Look, Kerbo, I want you to please give me your brother's number." He said, "Oh, yeah." He sent me, he said, "Oh, that your brother's right, your brothers that are in jail, right?" Yeah. I said, "Okay, let me give you the number. Call him, he will help." A GONGLOE number. When he sent me TIAWAN GONGLOE number, I call him. I miss him. I waited 1 hour. I called him. He picked up. He said, "Who is this?" I said, "Gibson Jerry." He said, "Oh, Gibson, where are you? You are in Liberia?" I said, No, Chief. I called you from overseas." He said, "Where?" I said, "America." I said, "Oh, my man, you're enjoying down there." I said, "No, Chief. I called you for something." He said, "What? For your boys in jail?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, I heard it. They told you arresting them and putting them in jail. You guys don't have a lawyer yet." I said, "No, Counselor. That's why I call you. I want you to represent them." He said, "No problem. I will do that." I'm telling you, this is what he said to me. No problem. I will do that. So I said, "Okay, Counselor, now you will do it. How much are you going to charge us?" I want you to listen. The woman who keep asking that question, whether because the man's a lawyer and because the man's a lawyer, therefore we pay the man. I want you to ask, if you don't have anything to talk about TIAWAN GONGLOE, it's better you keep quiet than for you to lie to people. Please, those of you who are lying to people, your staff, you don't have to support the man. Continue to support your judge, but you don't have to lie to. Okay? So I said, "Counselor, how much will you charge us?" He said, "Gibson, I'm not going to charge you money. I'm going to do it free of charge." I said, "But Counselor, you sure you're going to do it free?" He said, "I'm going to do it free of charge. But here is one thing I'll tell you. If you have someone on the ground, you all send some money to the person to hold it, because in a court, there are a lot of spending that can be going on. So I will not be able to spend my own money for that, but you can have that money there, and then we can continue from there." So I said, "Okay, thank you very much." He said, "So what the stage of the case?" I said, "We try to file a habeas corpus so they can be released for illegal detention for violation of their constitutional right. But while we were trying to file the habeas corpus, the government charged them and sent them to court and sent them to jail. So right now, we are only preparing for a full trial." He said, "Okay." So I was told him I was going to call him back. So now I tried to raise the money, but I became very skeptical. I said, "Okay, this is something." Once the man not charge money, I start raising money, they will say, "Gibson wanted money for himself." So I called the Grand Youth Association president. I called him. I said, "Sir, I don't want to call your name. I don't want any of you to feel different about anybody." I called the Grand Youth Association president. I said, "Sir, we already have a lawyer." In fact, I'll call your name. Timothy Collins. I called Timothy Collins. I think he's in Moravia. He should be in Zredru listening to me. I said, we already have a lawyer. The man is going to do it free of charge, but we need to have some money on the ground. So he said, Gibson, how much the man will have on the ground? I said, I don't know. So Timothy Collins, I'm not sure, but there's a figure I heard. Timothy Collins sent, I think, 5,000. The Grand Association sent 5,000 to one reverend in Moravia. And the reverend was the one, part of that money, they divided part of that money to the boys' family members. They bought some rice, they bought some food, they bought some stuff, and I think some money, I think 1,005 or so were left, and this reverend was holding this money so that anytime there was a need to spend money in the court, the reverend was spending money in the court. I have no recollection, absolutely, that GONGLOE was ever paid by anybody, any lawmakers in Liberia, any Grand General lawmaker, any Grand General representative or senator that tell you that he paid fasting for GONGLOE to represent the boys, tell them the words are coming from the pit of hell. In fact, they all ran away from those boys. I will give it to Chester Grant. Chester Grant had a press conference. He's the only person who was standing up a little bit because we engaged him. Zopeno had no time for us. He didn't have any time because they said Zopeno was the one who snitched to Ellen and told Ellen that these boys are actually the one who did it. Now, let me tell you the fun part about it. Even Marshall Dennis was in Zetown. The government security arrested his cousin right in his presence and sent him to jail without charging him. Marshall Dennis did not pay $5 to anybody to even help us to get a lawyer for us to release the boy. Marshall Dennis did not do it. We were the one that were fighting for his cousin who was with him in Zetown when he came and arrested him from there. That's how bad it was. So some of you sit there and let people lie to you, and you want us to also believe what your lies are. We did not pay GONGLOE $5. That man started the case from the beginning. In fact, he was the responsible. There were 5 charges. There were 5 charges they had on the boys. If I can still remember, they had murder charge. They had illegal possession of guns, of firearm. They have rape charge. They have extortion charge. Then they have one more charge, which was, I think, criminal facilitation or something like that. Okay? So GONGLOE went into the case, and then the government could not defend 3 of those charges. The government was able to remain with murder because they said people died and these guys were responsible. At the end of the day, out of the first 33 people, they freed the first 8 people. They sent them to Ivory Coast. They were Ivorian boys. The remaining 22 people, they free others until it came to 9. That GONGLOE's effort. If you can't even tell a man thank you, why would you lie to the Grangidians on radio station? Why would you lie? If you can say thank you, sit in your house and keep quiet. You don't have to lie about him. Is that what you people do? You people lie and lie and lie just because you want to vote for George Weah? Go vote for George Weah. Who cares about you voting for George Weah? You get the same result every time you vote for the same people all the time. That's all you got. So go and vote for George Weah, but don't lie on the man. This man made sure until almost everyone was free except for 9. Because you couldn't even went to the Supreme Court. You know what it cost a lawyer to go to Supreme Court in Liberia? You know how much they pay one lawyer for you to represent a person at the Supreme Court? That's a lot of money. $5 we didn't give GONGLOE. He did it for us. He did it for us. And some of you will sit there and say trash about him just because you feel that you want George Weah to be president. Go vote for your George Weah. Go and vote with your nose and vote for George Weah. I don't care. But we cannot. We will continue to tell all our Grangidians who can think, Grangidians who got mind to understand, we will tell them that this man means well for Grangidia. This man is not a troublist. This man made sure that he represented our boys up to the Supreme Court level. Until 5 people were left. The other 4 were released. 5 were left. The 5 people that were left, that the one we try before George Weah released them, I don't know, they gone Christmas or last Christmas or whatever it is. Okay? So yes, You want to say Joshua released them? Yes, Joshua released them, but you know how much pressure we power? How much pressure that we power from America? Those of you in Liberia, you do nothing. All you do, they put arrest your brothers, you sit there and do nothing. We were here. Some of you say we are in America, will do nothing for you. But we were the one that were fighting for the boys in Liberia. We were the one that were raising money for them to send to Liberia for the boys. This is this is what we do. This is why we come to America, to improve ourselves, to be able to stand up for our people who cannot stand up for themselves. So you don't have to lie about TIAWAN GONGLOE. I'm the one that did it. I'm the one that brought the mail bowl. Ask any Nigerian in America, say, who contacted Grandson GONGLOE for him to come to represent the boys? I, Gibson Jerry, I did. So nobody can lie to me about it. If somebody else was going to do it, I'll say maybe the man gave some money to the person, to the man, so I don't know. But I did it. I contacted him. I told him to help us, and he agreed. I negotiated for us to send small money to Liberia for them to be able to spend money at the court when we need money. I negotiated. Mr. Tim Collins, who was president, he's in Morovia. I think he's in Morovia or in Zwedru. Ask him. He will tell you, I did it. So nobody in Grand Jury Association in America can tell you that will pay the man 5 cents. I'm saying this because I heard a lady, I think that's the same lady who called just a few minutes ago about asking. And a lawyer, when they do something for you, then they can pay them. You didn't pay them. No, they didn't pay them, sister. They didn't pay them. Stop that twisted logic, okay? That's a twisted logic because the man's a lawyer. So, and a lawyer then lawyer when they do whatever, and they can pay them. No, they didn't pay them, sister. So stop asking that question. You don't have to. You can stick with your Joshua. Go ahead and stick with your Joshua. But don't lie on Consider GONGLOE. I don't care. You can stick with Joshua. It doesn't matter to me. Listen, if you do one thing too many times and get the same result, that's what we call insanity. You voted for Joshua the first time. You voted for Joshua the second time. You voted for Joshua the third time. The man has spent 5 years in power, and there's nothing tangible. The man, you know what they're doing in Nima today? Nima right now, you know that? The health ministry is building up a home. People who are sick, people who are mental health, they are building up their system. They're sending money, they're sending food, they're sending all kinds of stuff there to support them in Nima. Project in Nima. Georgia administration carry out projects. I can name 3 to 4 projects that is going on in Nima right now. I'm not saying it's wrong for them to do in Nima. I'm not saying they shouldn't do in Nima. But you who take Joshua as your son, what has he done? What project has Joshua brought to Grand Jury? Tell me, what project? Look at the Martha Totman Hospital. It's not even equipped. Our educational system, it's not equipped. The other day, our nursing school, they put almost, I don't know whether they not re-accredit our nursing school. They remove our nursing school from the credit of the national credit. They were not accredited. I don't know whether they have accredited them. So those things happen right in your face. Nothing is happening in your county. And then you still want to vote for Joshua, go and vote for him. The post say, if you do the same thing many times and get no result, it means you are insane. You know what insanity means? Crazy. Let me put it simple English. Anybody who do the same thing plenty of time and you don't get result, but you keep doing the same thing, you call it crazy people. That's what I can say. So if you keep voting for Joshua and get nothing out of Joshua, it means you are insane. You're doing the same thing and you're not getting new result. Nothing new happening. Okay, I will soon take our course. I get 10 more minutes to talk, and I will open the line for few calls. And but those of you, if you are still in studio there, I appreciate what you are doing. But let me tell you, people, my people, GONGLOE, listen. This is Gibson here. I have never openly supported any political party in my life. I have never supported any political party in my life. Openly, I've never done that. I've done some of the things on the ground, back in the background, in the back seat. I've done all of that. Do some work for them, write for them, do their newsletter, fix some of them are there with some of them do their website. Do all kinds of things for different political parties. I never say I support this man before. This is my first time to declare my support for this man. You know why? Because this man does not know the difference of colors. He does not know the difference of tribes. All those who we contacted, those lawyers, very good lawyers that we contacted, and they all refused. And this man did not say, well, I'm from Nima and he people from Grand Jira. Why would I want to fight for them? He didn't say that. He fought for our brothers. I want to see the people at Nisi Bawe. I want to see who is going to vote for. I want to see who Ofori Dia going to vote for. I want to see who Sam going to vote for. All those boys, cool. I want to see who they're going to vote for. Because they picked the men when they were in jail, when they were torturing some of them. We were speaking. Those you were in Liberia, you were speaking nothing. Those of you in Grand Jira, you just sat and fold your hand and sit down there and do nothing. We were speaking. We were fighting to have the boys released. You had nothing to do. You were afraid. People come in there and taking your boys, your brothers from in their houses and go, and no Grand Jira were able to get in the street to demonstrate. All the people when something happened to them, when they put this Loma boy in jail, Loma people got in the street. But Grand Jira never does that. Now, Grand Jirans, they do not ever stand up for their own right in that kind of way. We were fighting for it. I want to see when Ofori Dia go vote. I want to see who you will vote for. You know why people say, Tamai catch you. If you don't do the right thing and you don't do it, Tamai catch you. Yeah? I will see who Ofori will vote for. I will see who Nisiba will vote for. All those boys, those 22 boys that were in jail, I will see who they will vote for. Let them go and vote for Joshua and let them justify to their children. Let Nisibawe justify to their children and say, I voted for Joshua because Joshua cared about me. And I voted against TIAWAN GONGLOE. Let me see that. And some of you, your brothers, those people were your brothers. They were your uncles. They were your cousins. When they were in jail, you were crying in your house. You got nobody to help. And TIAWAN GONGLOE came and assisted us. And today, none of them died in jail. They are all out. And all you have to pay the man is to lie through your teeth. Lie through your teeth. Is that what you people do? Who will pay you by lying? Ain't a lawyer for them when they do anything and pay them. You think they pay him? No, sister, they didn't pay him. And stop that lying. I will play a song and I will take music I will take some calls from my brother in studio. Let me play a song. One of the Grangidians, very, very good Grangidians who is a singer. His name is Eric Jiso.
Yeah. Munega above Aevo Jiso. Money finit go. Your 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 money finit go. Oh yeah. Baba la mufoya, la guerrero, Baba la mufoya, la rapeo, la mola mufoya, la guerrero, la mola mufoya, la rapeo. The Baba people come, will catch you. Baba people come, will catch you. Nobody like you, like I do. Nobody like you, like I do. Better days ahead,
Bluetooth mode.
Connected.
Power off. Power on. Bluetooth mode.
Connected. Disconnected. Connected. Disconnected. Connected.
Power off. Power on. Bluetooth mode.
Connected.
Now, why he said he spoke for America? He spoke for America. He said, anybody who keeps doing, he said, you'll take your job here. You'll take your job here because you keep doing the same thing. And anybody who keeps doing the same way, he defines stupid last night. Otherwise, he can go to Jesus and he can talk to insult our people. So anybody who keep doing the same thing without a change of result, they need to insane. So that it's you want people to be president for, so that president people you want to bring people to be president for.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you. Let's pick up another person. Good evening. Are you there? We lost this person. 0880-102-102, 0778-15-24-24. To this person. Good evening.
Yeah, Eddie, how
Not bad. Nia, where you call from?
TIAWAN, I'm calling for signing.
Pasia, welcome.
Yeah, I want to take you to Eugene for what all he talked. For you know, in Liberia, we get food with our nose.
Okay.
For Daily America, they get food with their nose. For us in Liberia, we get food with our nose. While he's saying, he say everything about him it is true. What he do in America, and what he's talking, what I do, what I teach to the quote, that what my dad is talking.
Okay.
And number one, I see I go over and don't find a kid. I said, what I thought Johnson was there. I could eat. So he shouldn't say, yeah, I'm going to and don't find the kid. I will not agree with him. The way it's talking in America, you know, and the way myself I teach it, that what I'm talking.
Thank you. Let's see whether we can pick up another person. Good evening. We lost this person. 0880 to this person. Nia, where you call from?
Hello?
Yes, Nia, where you call from?
I'm Peter.
Peter Gay, welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much. I want to say that just see what I have before. Want to tell us what other people going to go from you?
All right. Thank you. Another person. Good evening. You have to be audible. Your name, where you come from?
My name is Aaron.
Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, for investigation or everything. Then following the plans of a brother was separated by the government. About the Grenadians in America, their air companies, was followed up. But my disappointment, you can call us, especially the KB correspondent. He didn't wait for Mr. Everyone. That in a fact. I think we know it just there wasn't anything. If you get the if one thing over and no result, how do you call it? Up to now. But it's shameful for public Nigeria to come and stand it. LBS life is one upon us. It's not from here. They will not benefit from the government. Somebody is saying something good. I think that's it.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my brother. 080-102-102.
Two more calls.
0-102-102-778-15-24-24.
Two more calls.
This Friday, good evening.
Yeah, this is Bishop Kobe again.
Quickly, 1 minute, let's hear you.
All right. I tell you, to people the EPC to be one of it going. After this is saying about the fashion, honestly, that's a story. So we are very powerful for time to time. Nothing like that benefit for Jovia. It's not in fight. That's in level. And it's fine. Nothing like benefit for Jovia. So if it's okay to talk for America to get a sense to elaborate what to continue. Don't misquote the word and the politely as a person. You don't misquote the English. They want the English and the level and the generally. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We'll pick up few calls. 080-102-102-778-15-24-24. This person, good evening.
Yeah, we were speaking here on Bible kind of for fellow rule, but that was there. So we're talking when you or and the income. The devil tries to tell us about all of the why it's going on. And it's not. Starting the fact that the higher something of that law always the and put the higher. That is our benefit for the government.
Oh,
that is our. So you must come to because there is something on road. The government is that and this is before.
All right. Thank you so much. 880-102-102-778-15-24-24. Today's pricing. Good evening.
Hello?
Nia, where you call from?
Yeah, Ebi, my name is Fatima. One more, I get a question for your studio guest.
Ask your question quickly.
My question has to do with, he said that Joia, body power, and Joia said that you're coming to very rural, and so I need a rural, not rich with.
I talk about road. I mentioned road business.
You make it or in a city.
I didn't make road. I didn't mention anything about road.
All right. Thank
I
you.
didn't mention anything about
You
road.
literally, you will address your question. Okay. Let's get this person. Good evening.
Hello?
Nia, where you call from?
I'm a brother Jerry, Papa.
You say your name.
I'm brother Jerry.
Okay. Boyton, welcome. Let's hear you.
Okay. Let me just say a studio guest. You shouldn't instruct things. Because why you doing in studio there, I don't think that what they can say to.
So
It's a sound name. You just instruct people, encourage people, and you tell people say they are crazy. Because why you doing that for nothing? Judicial and more than any other opposition. So take your time to talk to people, then insulting people, insulting women, telling people that we are crazy. We are not crazy. And we will vote to us. We are
I want you all.
You don't understand.
All right. Thank you. So this person. Oh, my wife. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Randy. I'm speaking as Randy, but even though guys who say, yeah, anyway, somebody was president one time and said, hey, I'm president, who probably I know they can call you by your situation. So I don't blame them. But you see, some of us, when people are talking on the radio, we analyze their presentation based on what is said. And so we are able to, we catalog them and we speak on them. So I'm not trying to give a different meaning of what he said. He actually said that insanity is defined as one person doing one thing and over without change of results. And so that not be saying that he said. So the people that be calling in say, yeah, I think the point I think can come and
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Let's take our last caller. This pressing, good evening. Nia, where you come from?
I love this.
Patrick Bay, yeah, welcome. Let's hear you. Patrick.
Thank you very much. No, my brother. He God created humans. God knows that all humans are diversified honestly. He getting me. We have different mind of concentration. But we get people, my brother, me, nobody against president. But let the truth be said. Not because our mind is already said that we are Ghanaian people who put up a job. We are constantly. So anything that occurs will say, you getting me? What I'm trying to say is that to tap in the main camping method was the stuff. Although it says they grandparents were talking that it was grandparents, but we in the center, it was so it connected the whole country behind it. And he said it in a camping method that he will make sure they will be connected. So tell me, he gave the men and women for second thing about it, the world became all. So we are waiting for future that maybe he will go back the second thing like now the road.
Thank you, Mr. B.
Yeah, so they're not going to get on it. He said, yes, they wrote, so he thought they were not going to pay that he said it, he can't be message. So we're not doing that, so I did the truth. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's try to squeeze just pressing in quickly. Good evening.
Go ahead.
William, welcome quickly. 1 minute, let's hear you. Where to go?
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for that information. So, positive when running a policy is about maturity and how to convince citizens to be part of you. That's a something citizen then they go.
All right. So we will put it right there. Although we still have so many products, but no time in our
No time.
Let's get back to Mr. Jerry.
All right. All right. So I was hearing a lot of calls from Grand Jideb, and normally I would expect if I'm live, you will let me know as you did. Just write me a comment that I'm live. Okay. So I'm waiting for Abraham to notify me that we are live, and then we will respond to our people. So or you can just send me a message, text message, and it'll be okay. Thank you very much. So we are live back. So let me, I got serious problem with our brothers, and the way I talk, how I talk, because I like to say my things with emphasis. So if you see me talking like that, does not mean that I hate you or I don't hate you. This is how I talk. This is what I do. And this is what my voice I was still using in Morovia, challenging Ellen. And those of you who know me in Morovia, you know what I'm talking about. From radio station to radio station, challenging Ellen. So this is how I talk, and that's how I will talk. But let me just say this to you people. Somebody said, and the letter came back again. Let me just tell you, the Arthur Johnson you were talking about, it was TIAWAN GONGLOE who brought him to help. So nobody paid Arthur Johnson. Okay? It was TIAWAN GONGLOE who brought him to help him. You don't have information on that. I knew every bit of things that were going because I was at the head of the whole thing that was happening. And somebody say, got money for Nigerians, and I don't know. I don't even want to go there because they're not. I can't dignify it because if I was somebody who would take the Nigerians' money and use it for my own sake, and first of all, I'm doing very well. I don't steal poor money. I'm doing very well in America. So all your Nigerians in America, I'm one of the best Nigerians that are doing very well in America. Let me just tell you now. If I collect money, I will not eat it. I usually give money. So the money I have, most Nigerians don't even have it. So I don't take Nigerians' money. I give Nigerians money. I do that. I help them. I solve their problem. That's what I do in America. People who have immigration cases, you get court cases, you got child cases, you got these things. They call me. I help them. So I don't take people money. But let me just say one thing. That one thing I want to stress here. Some of you don't understand people's language and you say that insult. I am telling you, and I will say that again. And ask your brother, if your brother going to school is in, if he's attending maybe one of the high school, whatever, will understand, and he ask them. Don't just come from behind the house and interpret my words. I said, and I'm saying it again. If you do one thing over and get no better result, nothing changing, it's called insanity. And that's the definition. Doing one thing over and over and not getting another result. It means you're not changing. And insanity does not mean, okay, that's a common word you call crazy in Liberia. Insanity means that you are not making sense of your own action. You're not thinking about your own action. You went today, you draw the water, you brought the water waste. The same place you go again, you brought water waste. You do the same thing. How do you call yourself? You go bring water, you set it down a waste. You go again, bring it and set it to the same place a waste. You bring the water again, set it to the same place a waste. You do it, you keep doing it. How do you call yourself? You bring water, you set it to the same place, it gets wasting. Then you can't put it there, then it waste. Then you can't put it there, it waste. How do you call yourself? You call yourself sensible person? Grandgenius, I will keep talking this. And one day, when it happens, that's what I do. And that's what people judge me by. I make predictions about what people do politically. Okay? That's what I do. I told, one time I told people, the ANC people, I told them Alexander Cumming will be disgraced because the kind of people he is in collaboration with, they are dangerous people. They will disgrace him. And it happened. One other ANC guy called me the other day, Gibson, that he been talking, it happened. And listen to me, Grand Gina, let me tell you today. Somebody just call and say they are waiting for second term so you can build road. I didn't talk about road when I was talking earlier, but I'll talk about it now. And mark my words. If you are in Grand Gina, mark my words, because I don't want you to regret. If George Weah wanting second term, he's praying to win second term. He did not give you 5 cents. When he win it and does not need it anymore, will he bring 10 cents to you? Let me say it one more time. George Weah said he will bring you road. In the first 5 years of his administration, he built road beyond you, coming from Sano going to Grand Cru, from Grand Cru going to River G. He built roads on that side. He built roads in Nima. He built roads around Atia area. He passing by you in the first 5 years and doesn't care about you. At least if the man start doing something from Zwedru, coming towards maybe Tabata or going towards Sando, he said, but the man started road coming from here, they're trying to fix it. But if the man needed you, when he wants you to do something for him, when he wants you to vote for him, and he does nothing for you while he wants you to vote for him, I wonder what will you get if he no longer needs you. I want you to think about this. And whether you vote for GONGLOE or not, I will still be here. Vote for GONGLOE or not, I will be the same Gibson Jeru. Whether you vote for GONGLOE or not, I will be the same man who will be on your radio. This program will be enough for today, enough for tomorrow. I intend to run this thing for the next 2-3 years. And I will remind you, yes, my sister, your vote with the nose. I will say, hey, you my sister, and I will not be afraid to tell you. You can only be afraid to tell somebody something when they are strangers. But you are my sister from Grand Jada. I will tell you, you people vote with your nose. Because the people that you vote for in the county, that even become your county representative, you know some of them have done nothing for you. You keep voting for them. They don't do anything. They go to Morovia while their friends are fighting for their county to get more benefit. They do nothing. All they do, they fight among themselves. They don't speak to each other. They don't do nothing for the county. When they come, you vote for them again. It means voting with the nose. Yes, most of you are voting with your nose. And you will vote with your nose again with George Weah. I'm not afraid to tell you. You're my sister. You're my brothers. If I can tell you the truth, then who will tell you? Who will tell you? I will tell you the truth. It will be the hard truth. It's a difficult truth to take. But when time comes, you know what my mother used to tell me, my late mother? When she tell you something, when you angry, when you get vexed, you know what she will tell you? She say, right now, I tell you, and you are vexed. And after your vexation gone away, you will realize that what I have told you earlier was the best thing I told you. That's exactly what I'm telling you now. Right now, I'm telling you, some of you sit over there and sound about insult. Well, you know what they call insult? You know what? My whole life, I protect and defend Grangidians. You don't come on the radio here and make yourself look important by saying I insult people. I'm coming to Zwedru, and I will stay right in Zwedru. I will repeat the words I said. And you can't do anything about it because that's the truth I'm telling you. Most of you vote with your nose. You have no reason. Some of you don't even know why you vote for George Weah. Because you say that George Weah, you voted for him. There's no connection between you and George Weah. There's nothing that George Weah gave you in Grand Jeda County. He didn't even visit you. You voted for him. After you voted for him 3 times, almost 100%, you still don't get anything, and you are praying to God so you can vote for him again. They're not voting with your nose. Voting with your nose. That's what they call voting with the nose. When they say voting with the nose, it doesn't mean you are crazy or that, but it means you make your decision without thinking about the consequences. The vote you have is your power. You gave your power to somebody who doesn't care about you. Look at your representative and your senator that you elected. They're not voting with nose. How many of them can even go and fight for Grand Jeda? Mato Totmo Health Center is nowhere. Nothing there. You're not doing nothing. Our education budget is nowhere. Our country development budget is the smallest. But you're still voting for our representative because they don't have nothing to fight for. They don't fight for us. They don't do anything. I will meet you on next week, Friday and Saturday, and we'll talk more of this. But I tell you, you're my brother, you're my sister. I'm the one that will tell you the truth. If I tell you the truth and you don't listen to me, you do what you want to do, tomorrow they will say Gibson was telling us, but we didn't listen. George Weah, if you vote for him, the next 6 years, you will do nothing for Grand Jeda because he will not need Grand Jeda anymore. He doesn't need Grand Jeda anymore. So, but right now, he needs you and does nothing for you. Right now, he wants your vote and has done nothing for you. So if you vote for him and he gets the last 6 years, he needs you not. He doesn't need you. Because whether you vote for him, you're not going to contest again. So he didn't care about you. He will only put emphasis on places that he cares about. I want to say thank you very much. We are out of time, and we'll be here next week, Friday and Saturday. But I have, maybe I'll come out through the week because my man, the station, they want to give me 1 or 2 days for the 2 days that I missed when I was not feeling well. So maybe during the week we'll come on, but if not, we'll see you on Friday and Saturday, and we'll talk about the Grand Jeda again. The reason I responded to y'all about GONGLOE tonight is because you are lying about GONGLOE. You know nothing about GONGLOE. Arthur Johnson was invited by GONGLOE to help. Arthur Johnson was Anthony Allor. He couldn't even plead in the Supreme Court. He couldn't go to the Supreme Court and plead because Anthony Allor do not plead in the Supreme Court. GONGLOE alone pleaded the case in the Supreme Court. So you don't tell me about Arthur Johnson. And Arthur Johnson is a friend of mine. Okay? So thank you. Tomorrow, and we'll continue to discuss the thing. And don't worry. I don't care how you're mad. I don't care. I don't care how you're mad. I will tell you the truth. George Weah will do nothing for Grand Jeda. And we will come back and discuss it again after the election. If George Weah happens to win, we'll come back and tell you what he will not do for Grand Jeda and how he will leave us like that, how he will abandon us to our own fate. And you will now try to listen to me next time. But for now, continue to argue for George Weah because you have the time to argue. The political reality will set in, and our people will get nothing again. Thank you very much.
Money finit Congo. Money finit Congo.
Okay, so we are now not in Grand Jeda. So I will bring on some people so we can talk about it on the other side for the American something. Because we have limited time today. We have 2 different programs. The TIAWAN GONGLOE for President Committee support group in Grand Jeda was in studio, so they had to use 1 hour of my time. So I didn't have 2 hours today. So I only have 1 hour. That is why I didn't bring people in from America today. So if you were trying to call me or trying to message me and I didn't bring you, that was the reason why. I really wanted to hammer home to the Grandians that they should stop lying. They should stop making stories about things that they don't know about. Okay, especially a girl continued to call and say the same thing over and over. So I had to respond to her today in the way I did. Because she's my sister. If I don't do that, she will continue to do that, and others will join her. Because we are all Grangians. Even if they don't vote for GONGLOE, I will still be Gibson. I will still be Grangian. I'll still be here. Okay? We all know how long it took. Even the Equitable Development Association in America did everything they did, because the last group of people that were in jail, they were mostly Equitable boys that were in jail. The Bison boys and the other boys, they were already out of jail. Chain boys were out of jail. They were the last 5 people. I think about 4 of them were all Equitable boys. So the Equitable Development Association took interest and wrote George Weah, that at the time he was peace ambassador. And senator, when he was peace ambassador, they wrote him. He didn't do anything, and they engaged him again when he was senator and did nothing to even intervene. And what he told us, they think a court case, so you can't do anything about it. That's what he said. He told us that court case, you can't do anything about it. Even when he was in jail, when they were in jail, we had to pressure him so many ways for him to be able to release these people. Okay, for them to pardon them. George Weah went to the prison compound and pardoned 30 people. And out of the 30 people, now 1 Grangian were among them. And because he got that criticism, so the next time he freed 2 persons. The next time he freed the last 3. Okay, we thank you for freeing them. And I'm so happy because none of them died. If it's because of our effort. We thank God that we were able to speak out and other people were able to join us, and it worked and it happened. And all of them are out of jail. Some of them are now some quasi-security officers. They are doing, I don't know, underground or secret security for the George Weah government. I know all of that. I can call about 4 or 5 of them names that are serving in some secret security for George Weah. See, I don't know. See, they don't talk to me. See, some of the people don't talk to me. We are all Grangians, we talk to each other. We know what all of us, we know we all are doing. So this is why it is, look, for me, I told all GONGLOE supporters, I will never one day say a derogatory thing to say, oh, George Weah this and George Weah that. No. My disagreement with him, it comes from his inability to take actions. What is happening? Look, let me give you one typical example. This is a recent example. Some people don't see it the way I see it. But let me give you one typical example. At the time, as soon as the U.S. Treasury Department sanctioned the 3 government officials, he immediately suspended them. Immediately suspended them. And what did he say? I will investigate them. He has not investigated them. Those guys, they are not being investigated. I don't even know whether he will ever investigate them. But that's not even the catch. This is the catch. The Anti-Corruption Commission indicted the chairperson of the Election Commission. And for corruption, he suspended 3 cabinet level ministers, officials, cabinet level officials. He suspended them because the U.S. Treasury Department said they were corrupt. He got no evidence in their hand. They didn't give him no evidence. And they will not give him any evidence. But he suspended them. His own Anti-Corruption Commission that he pays, that the people of Liberia pay with their money. They commit the people he appointed in a position to speak about and prosecute corruption. They indicted the chairman of the Election Commission. Up to now, George Weah has not suspended her yet. But he suspended 3 people when the U.S. Treasury Department said these people are corrupt. And he hastily suspended them. But the one that read in your nose, the Anti-Corruption Commission, said the woman is corrupt and they took her to court. He has not done anything about it. That's hypocrisy. Now, when they went to the court, whatever happened in the court, the judge, hey, my Jesus Christ. Listen, the Anti-Corruption Commission has prosecutorial responsibility. The Anti-Corruption Commission has prosecutorial responsibility. They have the right to prosecute corrupt officials. But guess what the court did? When they took the people to court, I'm not going to accuse the court of Didiba. I'm not going to do that because it's far-fetched for me. It's like you don't know what you're doing. You just accuse people. I don't have any evidence, so I'm not going to do that. The court threw the case aside. You know why the court threw the case aside? The case court threw the case aside because the judge said that the Anti-Corruption Commission should have taken the case to the Ombudsman Committee. Now, what is the Ombudsman Committee? The Ombudsman Committee is a committee when an investigation is going on and it involves the Anti-Corruption Commission officials and if involve the Anti-Corruption Commission, then the law says you Anti-Corruption Commission, you are involved into this, you are investigating the people. You can be the one to decide a case. And the people you are investigating, the only place they can carry a complaint is the Ombudsman Committee. So turn the case over to the Ombudsman Committee to make a final decision before you take them to court. That is an option. It's an option by the Anti-Corruption Commission. If they have not indicted the person, if they are still investigating and there are complications, then the Ombudsman Committee will decide. But if they already indicted the person, they do not have to go to Ombudsman Committee. But what did the judge do? The judge threw out a corruption case because an Ombudsman Committee did not participate. Which one is stronger? An Ombudsman Committee or the court? That is the law that is prevailing in Liberia today. That is the modus operandi of the present regime. You suspended hastily 3 government officials because the U.S. government said they are corrupt. No evidence. They didn't give no evidence. Whether it's true or not, we don't know. We believe the U.S. government. They believe that they know things that we don't know. George, we have to also believe that the U.S. government knows why he doesn't know. I'm sorry. For a president to say the U.S. government knows things about his government that he doesn't know, that's funny. That's why I laugh. So we all think the same way. I don't know what the U.S. government knows about Liberia. Joshua doesn't know what the U.S. government knows about Liberia. So, but once the U.S. government say these people are corrupt, bam, 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 he suspended them. But the Anti-Corruption Commission that he appointed and commissioned them and said, go after corrupt officials. They grab one corruption official and you are not suspending her and she stay in your job. But you suspended 3 people because the U.S. government say they are corrupt. Conflict, I mean, it's you know why he did that? Because he was never going to even suspend Paul Mageda in the first place if the U.S. government was not behind it. He was never going to investigate him in the first place. They were never going to be accused of corruption anyways, because what Mange was eating was what George Weah was eating, my people. Do you really believe that Mange alone ate all the eating? Do you really believe that Mange chopped all the chop? Do you really believe that the money that the U.S. government talking about that Mange was receiving from other government agency as a royalty, do you think it was only going to Mange's pocket? So Joshua didn't know anything that maybe the LPMC were giving some quota. They call it quota. LPMC were paying quota to Mange. LPRC were paying quota to Mange. National Port Authority were paying quota to Mange. FDA were paying quota to Mange. Liberia Transport Authority were paying quota to Mange. All these institutions were paying quota to Mange. Do you believe that Mange alone chopped the chop? And then somebody will come and convince me and say, George, you are clean. You know, our people, they say, they poke at the parable. You take your own, you say you are acting like how do you call it, tortoise. You take your own death from the bush. You know what I mean by that? When you are the turtle doesn't care. Turtle will be walking, it can meet the time, it will stay kind of time, it ain't be nothing. It will not run away. So that's how then they will take that turtle and kill it and eat it. So our people get a parable. They say you act like turtle, you bring your own death to town. And nudika bako and janche the bale law. That's what they say. And nudika bako and jante the body law. How can you come from all the way in the bush and come to town, you think the people will not kill you and eat you? That's what turtle does. You know what happened to Mage? He boasts about stealing. And so everything that happened to Mage and the people, he brought the attention of the U.S. government to the Georgia government. They were doing it like they don't care. It didn't matter to them. They were paying money here and there. In fact, what they said was, I was in Liberia, so I'm not going to pin anybody to it. I was in Liberia. They said Mangere, and they said the government carry ATM in Lofa. Instead of good news that people would talk about government buying votes in Lofa, that's not good news. That's a disgrace to our country. That people cannot campaign and convince the electorate to vote for them, and they'll go there and bribe the people to vote for them. That's a shame. But they were boasting about it. The government sedition said the ATM were the ATM were in Zozo. The ATM were in environment. They were boasting that they were able to use money to win in Joe Walker's town. To them, that good thing. And I see Grand Gideon falling all over Georgia. Canterbury has insulted them. I just gave you a parable. You're doing the same thing the same way and nothing, no good result. That's insanity. You're cursing us. That's the way the people behave. That's the way they think. That's the thing that I don't like for them to be like. I don't want people to judge my people like they don't think before they do something. You vote for the man 3 times, do nothing for you. Then you say, maybe you won't vote for the man when the man get the second time, then you return to us. Who told you that? The time you want the time the man needs you, he ain't give you nothing. The time the man needs you, that time you'll be worried to be worried about you. This is so, it's so unfortunate. And I will continue to say that, because if I don't say that, I will continue to say that. Every Friday and Saturday, I will be live in Grand Jede, and I will continue to stuff it in their nose. I will continue to stuff it in their nose. I will continue to stuff it in their nose. And if they don't listen to me, when it happened, they will say, Casey was telling us, they wouldn't listen. At that time, I'm vindicated. Those of you who used to hear me about ACN and ANC, I used to say, Alexander Cummings should lead the collaboration. I used to tell people don't go, how the man will lead the thing. The man is one of the major factors. Let the man lead the collaboration, because the people in the collaboration, when I look at them, I see danger for Alexander Cummings. You can't tell me, Alexander Cummings, you are clean, you don't believe in corruption, you don't believe in X, Y, and Z, but you and Benedict, and that's what I was talking about. And Joseph Boyka said, I'm not corrupt. The last budget for Joseph Boyka, his benefit was $2.4 million per annum. If you, those of you who know math, you can help me with the math. I'm not too good at math. Those of you who know math, you can help me with math. If 2.4 million, that's 2,400,000. 2,400,000 divided by 12. So Joseph Boyka was actually receiving about $200,000 a month. And somebody will say the man was not corrupt. What gave Joseph Boyka? What really do you think he should have $200,000 per month for? We're telling the lawmakers are making $15,000 and people were beyond them. The people were cursing them. They say lawmakers are corrupt. Why should they get $15,000 a month? And Joseph Boyka is making $15,000 and $200,000 a month. And nobody say anything and say the man was fine. Oh, he was good. He was vice president, and then his hair cleans. His hands are clean. $15,000 lawmakers senators were being paid $15,000, including their benefit, including all their benefit. And we were saying that the money is too much. The money is too much. But the vice president was making $200,000 of your money per month. And we laugh about it. He's cool. But listen, we already made an agreement not to be attacking opposition, our colleagues' opposition, until they attack us. So I will cool down on them. I will not attack them. I'll just give you reality check. But when these people attack GONGLOE one day, if anybody from the camp of Joseph Boakai attack GONGLOE just one time, I'm talking about two, one time. If anybody from ANC camp attack GONGLOE just one time, the fire will breathe out of my mouth. Because I know what to tell them. And it will hurt them more than they will hurt GONGLOE. But I believe that we, the opposition, will work together. I am for collaboration, not with Benena Ure. I don't know if the LPP decide to bring Benena Ure. Well, I'm for GONGLOE. I'm not LPP partisan. Let me be honest. I will be GONGLOE. I will not be LPP. I have not registered as an LPP supporter or partisan. But I do support them electing Councillor GONGLOE as the standard bearer. This man, I have worked with him in different capacities. I have worked with this man. This is one of, listen, all my relatives, all my family members, only one man. I always tell people, all my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, my brothers, this man is was the most committed man in my entire life. This man, for all the years he lived, when he was married for more than 40 years, this man did not look at another woman and say hello. And I was living with him all through until he died. I was always with him. Either I go rent on my own and I hear myself go preach or go evangelize. There are some point that women put him in the house when he go evangelize, they try to seduce him and he will walk out of the house. And I always tell people that's one man I put my finger for. All of the politicians out there with, GONGLOE is different. Though some of you may not understand today, but this man has the fortitude. Listen, one thing I like about him is it's easy for him to say no when you know it's wrong. It's very easy for him to say, no, we can't do that. That's why the man resigned from the Ellen government, because he couldn't fathom that Ellen was deviating from the course. And he resigned openly. And then just openly, he went on radio and resigned and continued criticizing Ellen. If GONGLOE becomes president, and when he becomes president, there will be some things, some good things that will happen for Liberia. And one thing that I can be sure, I can beat my chest will happen, the rule of law will be straightened. He will not put a person in jail like Menikape Dumont, go to jail because he says something the government don't like it, they grab him and put him in jail. It will not be like that. It will not be like that. Nobody goes to jail in a TIAWAN GONGLOE government because you spoke words that he didn't like. And if I was close to the government, I would be the first. I would be the first to openly say it is wrong for you to arrest this man to go to jail when this is what you fought for. And the man resigned from Ellen for Ellen deviating from the course. Somebody else can resign from the government too from deviating from the course. Or somebody else can highlight the issues or criticize him too when he deviates from the course. And I know he won't deviate because we have a lot of talk. Before I openly agree to support him and I'm going to Liberia to campaign for him. I'm not going to sit down here to campaign? Well, I'm going to Liberia. The launching we're going to do in Zwedru by the grace of God. The launching we're going to do in Zwedru. I think George will tell the superintendent not to even come, not to even give her the hall. So we'll not use the hall, we'll use the open space, hopefully. If they don't give her the hall, we'll use somewhere. But it will be one of the launching. And I'm going there. I'm going to put everything into it. Because if you believe in something, you must support it. We've come, listen, Joshua, the man, he disappointed everybody. Joshua's disappointed everybody. He disappointed himself. He disappointed his supporters. He disappointed all the educated seditions. He disappointed even opposition who thought that the man was going to do well. They disappointed everybody. The man forgot. The German forgot. He literally forgot that he's president. He literally forgot. Once you go to Jamaica oil and get flip and get van, he's done. That's it. And me, when I go there, I don't go around there. I see the Jamaica, other people go there, man. I get fine car, I would have gone there, they will not stop me, but I don't go there. I don't go and get in my men and all my sister friend. But I get caught there because they in power, they forget. They just like George we are. They forget. They forgot what they are in power for. They forgot why they got elected. The people elected you not because you were the best of the country. They elected you because they felt that you, quote unquote, love the country. And you will use your love for the country to do something to uplift the country. But how does he do? They will become president in 6 months. He built 47 units, 10 stories. I went there personally to see it. I'll try to take picture. They stopped me. They put security making. He told me, he said, if you take picture, I'll take your phone. So I try to bully him. Later I said, my name is Gibson Jerry. Say, you take picture, I will take your phone. I got by my car and left. I couldn't take a picture. But those houses are fine. Beautiful houses. Very, very nice units. But how did he build them in 6 months? Why when you want to steal, you can't even hide a little bit. When people steal, they can hide their hands small. But they steal until they open it up like that. They open it like that. They train it. Everybody I steal. And when somebody talking it in his, I don't like when people miss the issue and begin to take personal issues and mix it with real issues that affect the country. Joshua, he forgot that he became president. He forgot. They may totally forget. Okay, he forgot. All he thinks to become president is to go sing now. So once he sing, that's fine. Once he dance, that's fine. He go play basketball, that's fine. That's the only thing the president can do. Well, that's a fun thing for him to do. But there are priorities of the country. The other day I wrote something, I said, what really is George's priority? What is the priority? Listen, all that money, if I were to be advising George Weah, all the money that they use to fix most more road in Monrovia, I will focus on the highway. I will focus because development in Liberia will go nowhere. If that road is not fixed, now it's rainy season, we can't go anywhere. And the government already started to manipulate the whole election. The election commission said they only giving 34 days for 34 days. What will go? When the Grand Jury will stick after grade, we'll sleep there 2 weeks. By the time we reach Grand, by the time we reach Grand Jury, we'll finish speaking, we'll finish doing our campaign. By the time we're coming back, we'll sleep another 2 weeks, the whole month finish. So we're not even, so probably some people not even go Grand Jury. Because within 2 weeks' time, where will you go? When you go Lofa, your car break down, you will stay there 1 week. When you're going, even Bassa, people go Bassa. Riverside Road, it messed up. So all the roads are bad. And they know that we cannot do it. We don't have a helicopter. So they limited the time of campaign. We were thinking that they were going to get at least 3 months. So within the 3 months, we'll have time to go other places and campaign. But they said, no, the 3 months, the campaign is in 34 days from the October 1st to November 4th, November 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Done. You can't go campaign anymore. I mean, from September 1st to October 4th. Because October is the election. October 4th. Then the campaign finished. In September, they ring a foreign Liberia. Who able to go campaign? That's what we call ruling party mechanism. They do these things to make sure that you don't have the time to campaign. You don't have the time to go out there to win voters. No, you don't. So the only concentration for most political parties will only be stopping Uganda, Buchanan, going to Cape Mount, maybe bombing because they roll all the way, the quota went all the way, don't pay that quota, went all the way. So you can go to Bon County, you can go to Nima, maybe San Nicole, you got to Ellen pay that quota all the way. Yes. So those are the places. If you want to go to Grand Jede, like me, I'm going to Grand Jede, I have to sleep on the road maybe 1 week. Because in September, nobody crosses that road easily. You stay 1 week on the road. Then they say, the election commission said, only 30 days. 30 days? I don't even want to put the 4 days, 34 days. Who campaigns in Liberia for 34 days? Who does that? Well, we will continue to tell the people we will not campaign. Okay. Well, Jala Sigbe may say I can lie. When you're asking them why I lie about, you will not tell you. Jala Sigbe, why I lie about? Ready? Let's everybody see it. Jala Sigbe. What did I lie about? Just ready, let me see it. Say I'm still here because I'm about to go, but since you said that, I want to hear what the lie is. What did I say that was a lie? Jala Sibe, I'm talking to you. You are listening. You are hearing me. What did I say is a lie? Just say it. Let me know. Write it. You were not ready. They come on your platform. I accept them. They can come. They can write what they want to write, but I know where my focus is. I don't care about people coming. You say, you don't even know. I don't know whether you understand my English, but you say I lie. You don't know what part of the things I said that look like lie. Nothing. You will not tell you. But look, guys, I will be here tomorrow, Sunday. I'll go to Bismarck tomorrow to see my client, and I will be back, and I will be here. Okay. So those of you who are continuing to follow, I lost a lot of followers. It's been a long time since I did live. Okay. I did a long time since I did live. Okay. So basically, I'm just trying to scratch the surface, scratch the surface. It's like everybody doing well now, and I came back like I'm just scratching the surface, taking the little crumbs. So I know if you come on here, you can also go on YouTube and watch me live because it's also on YouTube live. So if you don't have time for Facebook, you can do the YouTube. Go to my channel. It's live too. So I want to say thank you, Jala Sigbe. I'm still waiting for you. I'm just doing this to give you a chance. Jala Sigbe, if you call yourself an intellectual, tell me what lie did I say? Did I say that looked like lie today? What did you hear from me that looked like lie, Jala Sigbe? You are still here, please. I want you to tell me what did I say that looked like lie? Because everybody reading, they will know whether you are the one lying or I'm the one lying. What did I say, Jala? It looked like you're not going to say anything. So I want to say thank you very much. I am going to play this song.
Your money finna go, your money finna go away. Your money finna go, your money finna go away. Your money finna go, your money finna go away. Oh yeah, Mliakwe Mumbayo, Mumbayo, Mumbayo. Mliakwe Mumbayo, Mumbayo, Mumbayo. Okay. Mliakwe Munjayo, Munjayo, Munjayo. Mliakwe Munjayo, Munjayo. Ay, Baba la mufanya, la jereo. Baba la mufanya, la rapeo. Yamola mufanya, la jereo. Yamola mufanya, la rapeo. The Baba people come. We'll catch you, Baba people come. We'll catch you. Nobody like you, like I do. Nobody like you, Money finna go, your 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 money finna go. Abala mufoya, la guerrero, abala mufoya, la rapeo, la mola mufoya, la guerrero, la mola mufoya, la rapeo. The Baba people coming, will catch you. Baba people coming, see, will catch you.